Hello, hello, and welcome back to the outside of town. Hello everyone, hello. No streams last week. I got so sick. A true man cold. And I'm coping by telling myself that, well, at least I got it out of the system before the holidays or something. But we are back with Hobo, which unfortunately is not primarily a bow user anymore. Level 37 Amazon in Act 2 Nightmare. Let's see what we were up to. 11 unused stat points, good fire resistance, medium lightning resistance, negative for the rest. Which, you know, maybe I would like more even between fire and lightning, but otherwise I don't mind the resistances. Fire and lightning are the most important, in my opinion. We are sporting Javelin, no more, no less, no prefixes or suffixes, just a good old Javelin. Dusk Deep, very solid helm. A beautiful gemmed Gothic plate, Ort tier, and also a flawless sapphire for mana, and one empty socket. It is sure something. It is something for sure. Lightning resist gloves, MF ring, a belt, a plated belt, which importantly has 16 potion slots. Absolutely huge. A garnet ring, 22 fire resist. And Hotspur, which we have been using since Act 1 normal. Ooh, cold damage, grant charm, strength and fire resist. 8 mana. 5 faster run walk. A bow? I don't think I fired a bow much lately. Because now the damage is just so pitiful compared to Plague Javelin, which we are currently maxing, or it's already maxed. Plague Javelin, 5 in Poison Javelin, 1 in most passives. I'm actually not sure if it's worth getting 1 point into Pierce or not with the Plague Javelin, but the Valkyrie is nice. And then we have 3 magic arrow, a, how do you say, remnant of past indecisions. Well, you are up to speed, I am up to speed. I haven't played this character since last stream.
Good day to you, partner.
Thank you, Nemo, for the prime sub. 3 months. 3 months. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the good luck. Have you played much Summon Necro? Yes, but not on the channel. I find it a little bit tricky to create an interesting premise around the Summon Necro, because it's such a safe and strong character that is gear independent and also just strong. But I do like the Summon Necro, so someday maybe it'll happen. Javelin MVP. Yeah, it is certainly MVP. And actually the real MVP so far has been the... Oh, actually, hold on. Kelpy Snare. That's right, we found Kelpy Snare. And I'm trying so hard to use it, because the 75 slows target is so powerful. But I'm not sure if it's gonna... that's really what we are doing this run. Because it is a two-handed melee weapon, which is not really what we want to do. Because then we'll take a lot of damage. And of course, the challenge is that we are not allowed to go into town or speak to anyone in town unless absolutely necessary to continue. So, you know, no repairs other than with the cube, no buying healing potions, etc. But that is a really nice find. I forgot about that. Wish I could give it to the Valkyrie. But what I was going to say when I opened my cube was that the MVP of this run so far has been the recipe: 1 spear plus 1 set of arrows to create more javelins. That has been very, very good. Thank you, Delam X, for the Prime sub. So awesome to finally catch you. 5 AM here, usually watch the YouTube vids during my workout. So glad to catch you, real thing. Oh, welcome, welcome. It is not a forgiving... How do you say? Not time frame, but it's not time, maybe. Tjena Zarfen, kul att du kunde ta dig tid. I see, so like, how nice of you to actually make your own streams, I guess is the translation. Fair, fair. They still have knockback on the swap. Yeah, it has an F rune. The thing is that since knockback isn't guaranteed to always happen, it's a bit unreliable. So when do you add arrows to that unique? How sad it would be to make Kelpy Snare into a set of white javelins, but it might be the correct decision, unfortunately. Summon Necro too strong, do a run that's Iron Golem only. I have been thinking about it, and I think it would be very fun, because it would be like the usual, you know, Zarfen video thing, where it's like super much about very mediocre, specific, but very specific items. But Iron Golem sucks, but... so... It would be fun, but I fear it would be like my Rogue Mercenary run, but 10 times worse. Been binge watching your videos, love them. I also hit the like button. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. This challenge is amazing. You got me doing my own, and it makes searching for loot almost addicting again. Yeah, I know, right? It's very fun. Kelpy on swap could do work. Yeah, I think that's one thing. Yeah, exactly. I could replace this bow with the Kelpy, but I'm not sure. It might be a trap. It's here's how I feel. Either Kelpy Snare is a trap, or it's gonna be like the crucial piece of the puzzle that actually makes us able to kill bosses later in the game. But we would need to get some more strength. I guess I do technically have the strength for it if I invest. And then I would also like at least 1 point in Impale to make sure I always hit, because my chance to hit is pretty bad right now. And it's not gonna get that much better unless I invest heavily in dexterity. Or I guess I could jab, but that's 1 point for an attack rating bonus, and this is 2 points for a uninterruptible, always hitting attack. With a very high chance of losing durability. 46% chance to lose durability is punishing when you're not allowed to repair. Necro would make for a good random guy run. Yeah, it could, absolutely. As long as it doesn't turn into a normal summon Necro. You can't use Impale, forget it. Well, 25 out... It's at the very least 25 stabs. If we get maximum bad luck, it's still 25 stabs with Kelpy Snare, but... Yeah, might not be what we want to do this run. We are just starting Act 2. We defeated Duriel, the last thing we did last stream, in Nightmare of course. And I started the stream outside of town, and we are not returning until we are forced to do so, so we need to collect a couple of quest items. I enjoy Prophet Ezekiel's Golem Dead series, where it just goes through letting each golem type do all the work. I haven't seen that myself, but I know that he did it, and people in chat have told me before that it was extremely grindy and tedious, and I believe it, because none of the golems are very good. I mean, they are good, they are serviceable tanks, but like, relying only on the golems seems like a bad time. Well, I guess that's kind of what I do on this channel. Extreme grinds, that is, not a bad time. Let's do some players 3. Yeah, what about some normal cows? Yeah, yeah, you're right. We can't actually do normal cows. And not only because we need to open the cow portal in Act 1 town, but also we can actually not get to Tristram to get Word's Leg at all, because that would require us to speak to Akara so she can translate the scroll for us, the scroll of Inifas, because you can actually not enter the portal before you speak to Akara. Alright. I mean, the poison is still very good, so I think I should just focus on staying alive. Well, isn't that the point of every run, really? And let the poison do its thing.
I can't carry anymore.
Well, I don't need a portal. Here's an interesting thing. Rail rune. This is one of the most valuable runes because we can use that to repair any piece of armor. It could also be 30 fire resist. For now I'm gonna put it in the cube though. Be careful to not hit this button. Or I guess it doesn't work with weapons actually. You need an orc rune to repair a weapon. So it sits safely here for now. Still picking up gold. I have given up on trying to not pick up gold, by the way. Good thing the lost city is in fact lost and no longer a town. Yeah, that's true. Abandoned towns feels completely in line with the lore of this run. Just put a Sod rune in the spear. That would be so funny if I find a Sod rune and would socket it in the Kelpy Snare to make it indestructible. Of course I couldn't do that because I can't add a socket to it. Well... no, actually that only works with rares, never mind. I've seen all your videos, some multiple times. I'm done with me. Whoops. Let me just kill this pack before I read comments. I forgot how to stream in the last week of being sick. I have to admit I was kind of sad when you streamed non-Diablo 2 content. Luckily for you, it was just not a fluke, but a temporary. But I'm glad you enjoy you have enjoyed all of the videos.
I can't carry anymore.
And there's plenty more to come, even though I know that they are not very frequently uploaded. Finally no keys. What happened to all my keys? Did you guys finally convince me that I shouldn't be carrying them around? I guess so. I wonder what we're gonna do with the skill points now. we could, of course, keep pumping Plague Javelin, and it feels to me like that is probably the strongest thing I can do right now. Keep going for us for an even stronger main attack. We'll need wow. We need some supplemental damage type sometime,
I am
but
overburdened.
probably not for a while. Great pylon. Well, I am running out of javelins slowly, and I don't have another set. Ooh, 8-8 dexterity. But this is 71 more attacks. So maybe I need to... I mean, the further we go into the game, maybe I need the stats to wear any javelin we find. Because right now I do not function without javelins. At this rate, you'll need keys as weapons. That would be funny if you could throw everything. Like, if you're in a bad spot, you could throw keys at enemies for 1 damage each. No shot, I just assume you used all keys. If I used all the keys, then I ended up being right in the end when I said that, well, maybe I need 2 stacks, because who knows, I will run out at some point. Already a 2nd level up. Wow. Didn't I start the game at level 37? Yeah, I've leveled up once already. Right, experience is beautiful. Like the rate of experience gained is absolutely beautiful. I can see a keys owner. Yeah. I mean, if you could throw keys, that would certainly be on the short list. Ooh, a
I
key.
can't carry anymore.
But now we have the question, what do I do with the rejuvenation potions?
I can't.
I guess it's a good thing to have a row of rejubes. And I think we used to have a row of rejubes, but I assume I ended up drinking them. Hey Zarfen, first time catching you or any other streamer live. Love your channel, keep on looting. Oh, thank you. Glad you like the stuff. I actually don't watch that many streamers myself. Like, I have a few that I tune into every now and then, but even those I watch, I don't really watch very often. Not because I don't like them, but because I don't really watch that many streams, I guess, is the thing. So I am not really in the, how do you say, the meta of streaming. I don't really know what's going on in the streaming landscape as a whole. But sometimes I feel like that is kind of a secret weapon. To not know what other people are really doing. Let's make some more javelins. Since you can use any spear, even a crude brandy stack, to make javelins, maybe I actually don't need to invest the stats for some of them. Which I know I just said that I probably need to. But that's like 22 extra vitality. Loss. Well, it's 22 extra dexterity, but it could be 22 extra vitality. The thing you don't really pay attention to, how often do you find arrows and a spear? Is it more often than every 88 throws? So what's the plan with Kelpy? Well, the honest answer is probably I'm gonna keep it in my inventory for 8 to 10 hours, and then I'm gonna realize that there's no shot that I'm ever gonna use it, and then I'll throw it away. But the dream is, of course, to use it for the beautiful slow. I love Kelpy Snare. Hey, I usually watch on YouTube. Nice to catch a stream. Welcome, welcome. Is it not possible to leave Duriel without a TP, correct? That is correct. You cannot leave the Duriel fight without a TP. Well, you can save and exit the game, of course, but that will put you back in town regardless. And I think Act 2 might be the act with the most forced town interaction, right? Because you need to go there to speak to Drognan and then go into the castle, the palace. But then you also come back at the very end. So, and that is, of course, for those who keep track, 2 times. 1 plus 1. It's so annoying to do like potion cubing when you have literally no free inventory space. But it is what it is. Ooh, Kelpy being a unique means you can actually juggle it. 30 minutes, you say? In theory, yes. But remember that, like, there is no panic, but, like, I can't press how to phrase it? I don't have the panic button of going, like, for example, if I were to try and juggle the Kelpy Snare, and by juggle, of course, I mean leave it on the ground close to a waypoint or something, and then, you know, keep adventuring, and it will stay there for 30 minutes before despawning, and then of course you can just go click it again to pick it up. The problem with that, however, is that even with 30 minutes, there is no guarantee that I will make it back in time if I don't find a waypoint or find myself in a very tricky area, because I can't take a town portal back to town and then quickly get to the waypoint, right? When do I start being stingy with the ID tomes? Well, I guess I should have done it 2 ring identifications ago, but hindsight is 2020, as they say. I've forgotten that 50% of this challenge takes place in the inventory in the cube.
I am overburdened.
What about ring transmutes? That Ami could be upgraded. You don't know what you're talking about. Upgrading this? No shot. But we did that a little bit earlier. Like cubed all rings into amulets and vice versa. I think the problem with that is that it's hard to dedicate a bunch of inventory spaces to magic rings and amulets that doesn't do anything. And the chance to actually get something good is so slim. But it is something we could do, and it is something we have done a little bit. Ooh. Alright. Made it out alive. Basic javelins forever. It's looking like it, right? I mean, I think we have found a surprisingly low amount of magic javelins in general. If I may say so. But there is absolutely the possibility to find something like Maiden's Javelin of self-repair. Is it it's self-repair just called replenishment or like restacking? Is this hardcore? It is not. It is plain old softcore. But I'm not gonna die, so it's not gonna matter. Any ideas for fun challenge runs for someone who's new to challenge runs? I think a good starting point is to restrict yourself to a certain type of items. Because it's kind of easy to keep track of, and you know, it is difficult but not crippling. Well, depends on how you restrict, I guess. But also, since this is an ARPG, you can simply, you know, play a weird, like, low-tier build. That can be a lot of fun, actually. I don't do it much on the channel because I think, you know, the framing of a challenge run makes for a good YouTube video. But if you just want to play it in your own time, I think just picking a character build that's not super strong can be lots of fun. Like, pick your favorite, like your pet skills. Be a lightning strike. Like, building a lightning strike and fend Amazon can be a lot of fun and surely feel like a challenge. And then just play the game normally. Or like try to make Firewall and Glacial Spike work as one build. Right, this jewel is never gonna be used. It's actually not that good. Now, you could ask me, Zarfen, why are you carrying around so many gems? I don't know. I do not know. There's simply too many decisions to make, like real time, to make good decisions all the time. Like, it's easy to think of a use for a perfect diamond. 19 all res in a shield, and the shield is already starting to break. 3 durability left. So it's easy to see a use for a perfect diamond. But that is the case for most items. Yeah, I haven't found any good bows. I mean, when we first started using this, it was alright. But what we're looking for, like the dream, is to find a 4-socketed bow and make insight in it. Now, of course, we are also missing a lot of the runes for insight. Short spear. Well, that is a javelin. Let's leave it. Are you allowed to respec, or is that considered unsanctioned town activity? That is considered unsanctioned town activity. The only things I am allowed to do in town are things that are strictly required to get me to continue. So like no side quests, no optional quest rewards. It's only the times where I am absolutely required to speak to someone or the game will simply not allow me to progress. So for example, you can't go to Act 2 without speaking to Wariv at the end of Act 1. It's simply impossible. But respecking or getting 1 free skill point from Akara,
I am overburdened.
that is unsanctioned town activity. That's really funny. A really funny way to phrase it. And if you phrase it like that, it makes you wonder who's sanctioning the activities. Is it like the High Council of the Hobo High Council? Actually, also, I should really be careful about getting poisoned. This poison isn't that hurtful, but it is slowly draining my life. Well, I guess it didn't last for very long either. So I haven't been keeping track,
I am overburdened. I can't
like regarding the stashing stuff on ground near waypoint. But for example, if we left something by the Dry Hills waypoint, let's say it's been 10 minutes since I've been there, and let's say I will finish up in the Maggot Lair in another 5 minutes, then I need to walk back to a waypoint because I can't go to town and take the waypoint from there. So that's gonna be another 5 minutes, and then I've already spent 20 minutes, and it's very easy to see a situation, for example, Duriel's tomb, where I tried to juggle something, but then the tomb is very difficult, and I spend like too long in the tomb, and then I need to decide if I should run away, or if I should just give the item up. Like, I need to check, like, okay, I've been here for 20 minutes. If I want to juggle my Kelpy Snare, now I need to leave and run to a waypoint just to go and refresh it, and then run all the way back again. So it's gonna be a lot of travel to juggle an item. And then I still need to figure out what to keep when I save and exit the game. So I don't think it's worth it. I mean, temporarily, sure. Like if I find, I don't know, if I find something and I am missing some ingredient, for example, if I really need one more ring, I can juggle something for like a set, like for a limited time with a clear intention or goal. And then I can, you know, run back and get it later. Ooh, that poison hurts. And also... being forced to carry around this stupid quest item, that's gonna hurt. So actually, let's not fight the maggots anymore, because I don't want to get poisoned again. Lots of travel, lots of SAS points. True, but I could never use my SAS points because that would require me to speak to the clerk at the airport lounge. And that is of course prohibited. Yeah, tough with poison if you don't have antidotes. Yeah, I did have exactly one. And it's very nice to have like a couple of antidotes in the inventory. Because not all poison is made equal. Like, I got poisoned earlier in the Maggot Lair, and it wasn't that painful. But that last poison I got hit with, that drained my life very quickly. And I was poisoned for a long time. And you know, if you are safe, that's fine. Because you can simply wait the poison to run out and then heal, because you're not getting killed by poison. As long as you don't get hit again when you're at 1 life. But sometimes you might have to fight while poisoned. I did consider if should I leave the Staff of Kings behind for now and then come back for it later. But then I need to do so much backtracking to do something like that that I figured it wasn't worth it. Oh, this is a dead end. What happens if you break the staff, like durability-wise? That is an interesting question, and I don't know the answer. I assume nothing happens. Like, I assume it just functions as a quest item. Oh, I didn't see the stairs. I assume you can still put it in the orifice. You can craft javelins with a safety recipe. But the safety recipe is so bad though. Like, it doesn't give it gives like enhanced defense. But I do have oh, a flawless. I thought I had a perfect sapphire. Actually, it's an emerald for safety. Never mind. I don't have anywhere near a perfect emerald. I wonder if my streaming light is broken, because now all of a sudden I'm getting blinded by the lights. Do 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 do. You know, the one. But I didn't change any settings. Well, maybe it's just that. Well, it's almost 1 p.m. I guess it's time to get for the sun to go down here in Sweden. You've had your allotted 3 hours of daylight. Come back tomorrow. No, that was definitely... Oh, I died. Well, but I just wanted to say that that was definitely something odd going on with the light. Because now I clicked one button up and down, and it reset. And I also reset, I guess. I will not die. I can really tell when I haven't been playing Diablo 2 for a week or so. Because what did I even do? I didn't pause the game, I didn't stand in a safe spot, I simply walked into a pack of enemies and started looking at, like, my light. Shake my head. Like, I sometimes feel like Diablo 2 is a very easy game. But I actually think it's kind of a hard game, so sometimes it's good to be humbled by stuff like that. To remind myself that it's actually kind of a hard game. Oh, that's a big damage increase. Let's keep pumping that. Oh, I'm already level 41. Experience is flowing anyway. I see you using poison a whole lot in these runs. Is it frustrating to use it so much? I actually love damage over time spells in games in general, so I really like using poison. I've never thought about, unique, about like the fact that I am using poison a lot. I wonder if that is because I always end up thinking that's the best course of action, or if my love for damage over time tricks me into picking poison. But for example, in this run, I think it's a good choice because there is no other skill with as much damage efficiency, like damage per javelin or damage per mana, I would say, that the Amazon has access to. Like Lightning Fury is a great spell, but you kind of have to spam it, don't you? Right, now I at least have a full row, or a full column of...
I can't carry anymore.
a full rejuve.
I am overburdened.
Man, get me out of here. Get me to safety. It's so dark, alright. I like poison too. I wish it were better on the necro all around, honestly. I actually, yeah, poison in general is pretty bad in this game. I actually think that Plague Javelin is one of the strongest poison skills in the game. Like, let's be honest, Poison Nova isn't actually that good. Because for Poison Nova to shine, you need really high level on the skill itself. And ideally also like Death's Web, one of the rarest uniques in the game. And a bunch of other gear to make it even, you know, good. And even then, I don't think it is the best skill in the game or anything. No, it's terrible, yeah. Well, I think the Plague Javelin is a really strong spell. Poison is problematic in that it's damage over time, and also a lot of enemies resist poison later in the game. But for a challenge run, I think it's very strong. It deals so much damage that even if enemies resist poison, you kind of do decent damage. But you know, maybe I'm not the one to speak to what skills and items are good or not. Use inner sight to reveal enemies in the dark. I like it. Mesh belt. That could be an upgrade. Oh, I never identified the Great Helm. This is the Howl Tusk, I believe. a helm with bad stats, some damage reflection, and chance to cause monster to flee. I was right, it also has knockback and magic damage reduction. I thought the attacker takes damage stat would be higher. Well, this is very speculative, but if we would ever end up with that plan of being a boason with an inside bow, a helm with knockback and hit causes monsters to flee could be good crowd control. But that is very speculative, and I don't think I have four extra inventory slots to keep it for that reason. But this is also a speculative 8 inventory slots. Should Charsey the Howl Tusk? I would love to Charsey the Howl Tusk. Let's see if we can get a belt upgrade at least. Well, I would classify that as an upgrade. However small. Even some extra durability, but 2 life. I'll take 2 life over 6 stamina. Thank you, game. Poison just scales so badly. Yeah, and I think that's why I like Plague Javelin so much, because that actually scales pretty well. Well, it scales well for a poison skill. What's so funny and sad is that a lot of these poison skills actually scale not only the damage but the duration as well. And that is so stupid. Like, this one is one of the worst offenders. Already at level 9, it deals the damage over 24 seconds. What? Isn't that just insane? Like, already level 9, it deals the damage over 24 seconds. It's just too long. Whereas Plague Javelin also scales the duration, but not as bad. Same with Poison Dagger. Also gets increased duration with every level. Just found your content, you're doing an amazing job, keep it up. Oh, thank you. Xebras. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Good luck with everything. Watch when you upload. Good luck with Duriel. Thank you. I think I'll need it. Duriel is gonna be a tricky, since I'm all about hitting and running, and Duriel is all about chasing hit and runners down. I think it'll be a struggle, but I also think that I should be able to slowly whittle him down while running away from him. And you know, the good damage of Plague Javelin is a key component to my confidence. Howl Tusk was pretty popular with Boazon's Prelude, and I mean, I see why. I don't think I've ever played a Boazon Prelude. I actually did not play that much of the game Prelude. Like, I did have Diablo 2 without LOD before I had LOD, but I didn't play it that much. I think I only played a Barbarian and a Necromancer, and didn't beat the game with either, I'm pretty sure.
Overburdened.
Short warbow, long battle bow. A short warbow or a long battle bow? What does it mean? 3 sucks? 3 sucks. Grand Charm. Ooh, this is getting tricky. This is getting tricky. Because part of me thinks that I can't log all of these charms around with me. But part of me, of course, thinks that I need to, because like 20-something resistance is basically a piece of gear. Oof, that stings. Alright, I think we need to make some adjustments to the inventory strategy. Do you need all the gems? I actually probably don't need any of the gems. This is like, well, we're gonna craft a caster item, or actually probably more likely we're gonna roll 4 sockets in an awesome bow. But like to roll sockets in a weapon, you need am and ral, right? Alright, as much as it pains me, I think it's time to get rid of the topases. Perfect ruby. I mean, I would love to craft a blood ring or something. But I'm also gonna start finding good runes that I wanna keep. Yeah, let's get rid of all the small gems. Let's get rid of a... Well, actually, this could be very good against the Duriel. A little bit of run speed. But yeah, no, this sucks. I hate leaving potentially good loot on the ground. It's awful. I hate it. I don't like it at all. It's terrible. Don't you need gems to repair? Only if you also want charges repaired. You can repair the durability with only a rune.
I hope I know what I'm doing.
Well, I think I need to make another set of javelins. Yeah, ooh, that was in just in time. It was down to 15. Did you find Lost City waypoint? I did not. But I would allow myself to use a town portal to go back to town now, because after the Claw Viper Temple we need to go to town, because we are going to the palace next. Though I guess I probably do not have a waypoint or a town portal actually. But maybe we'll find one on our way through. So things are looking a little worse now that we're in the tombs, but again, we're still on players 3, so I think it's looking alright. If we consider that. Ooh, great helm. Saigons. Though I hate to admit it, but Saigons is probably also another one of those
I am overburdened.
items that I would like to keep for the possibility of finding more Saigons down the road. But can we really afford to? Probably not.
I can't carry anymore.
Right? And I mean, Saigons isn't bad, because it gives a lot of attack rating if we ever want attack rating. Thank you, Jewelry by Pape. Hey, sir, for the super chat. Hey, Zarfen, keep up the good work. Challenge suggestion, curses Necro. I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm just kidding. Mainly confuse, attract, and Iron Maiden. Iron Calling for interesting item usage. Call it the Twitter challenge. The Twitter challenge. because you would curse a lot. Well, I think that a curses necro is one of the rare challenges that are actually worse than it sounds. Because it turns out that monsters like tank damage a lot better than they deal damage. So if you rely on monsters killing each other, like by converting them or confusing them, I think you're gonna have a very bad time. Which I guess is where the challenge aspect comes in. Well, we'll see. Let's put that on in the maybe pile. But thank you so much for the super chat. The Guardians are really poison resistant. Like it kind of takes a lot for a monster to soak up 3.6k damage. It's like we're not in hell, we are in nightmare after all. So 3.6k is a big damage number. And I mean it is over 7 seconds, so maybe I am being a little bit impatient. And of course resistances makes it so the number isn't actually 3.6. Ooh, razor bow. Arrows, Fushina. What us hobos like to refer to as a stack of javelins.
Impossible. I need mana.
Let's do us a quick swap. One Fushina for another. Nice, only 46. It's actually a little bit painful that the amount of javelins you get when you craft them is so random. I mean, razor bow. Chance to cause amplified damage, but very bad stats otherwise. Alright, I need to stop tanking so much damage.
Let there be light.
Not because I'm low on healing, but I need to remember that every attack I eat drains my durability. Oh, and actually we do have a scroll of town portal here. And now I'm going to allow myself to go to town because we need to speak to Drognan and then go into the palace to continue.
I've heard that you.
So one NPC spoken to. Ayabaya. And then we head into the palace without speaking to anyone. This is a trap exclamation mark. You don't need to speak to him. Is that the legendary Kelpy Snare? It is! Challenge idea, only use the cube as inventory. You can see how much I'm struggling already, right? Like for me, even like this challenge is use only your inventory as inventory. And that is already a struggle. I think I need to get rid of the Kelpy Snare because I am increasingly certain that it is a trap. Because even if I wear it, I mean, the slow is sure gonna be good, but that means that I will be a javelin on one switch and a two-handed spear on one switch. And well, So the problem, I'm trying to phrase myself in a different way. So the problem is that I think that Kelpy Snare will make bosses so much easier. But it won't help me like between bosses. And then I have to ask the question, are bosses gonna be the biggest problem for this character? It is possible. But I am not certain. But I am certain that I wanted Grim Shield, so I'm trying to kill some other enemies. One socket, well...
Not enough mana.
You know, why not? At least that means it's good right now, right away. I'm trying to avoid having to kill the archers. Oh, they are actually blocking the door. Juggling at Arcane will be easy. Yeah, I mean, we can certainly make it happen at certain locations, but it feels like we're just pushing the problem like ahead of us. And I'm not really looking to juggle something for like 2 streams. Like if we're gonna juggle something, I kind of need a reason to do so in the near future.
I can't carry anymore.
Oh, what happened? Did you see that? It started playing the animation like I cubed it. So I did the because somehow my brain thought I cubed away the Kelpy Snare with the staff for some reason. Oh boy.
Am I the first to find this arcane fortress?
Maybe 1 point in slow missiles to save some durability. I actually don't hate that. Like, I don't like the skill very much. But you might have found the the use case for it. Could also consider going down to players 1 in the arcane. Because, you know, purely because of the ghosts. And the Ghoul Lords, yeah, let's go to players 1. I enjoyed players 3 in the early parts of the act. Lots of sweet free experience. Imagine if we did find a new cube recipe.
I am overburdened. I can't
Well, it would be
carry
pretty
anymore.
sweet if we got a Horadric staff with 75 slow on hit. Alright, can we get lucky with a first way Arcane Sanctuary for once? Ready, please? Taru Adun Tassadar. Oops, wrong game. At least the same publisher.
I can't carry anymore.
Did you guys see that Tasteless and Artosis won some lifetime something award? Very deserved. They have done so much for StarCraft.
I can't carry anymore.
Ooh, I don't have any spare javelins at all outside of this stack. Identifying gloves, hoping for jav skills. Which is unlikely, but certainly possible. And you know, everything you want is unlikely. Thank you, Arin, for the super chat. Challenge idea: upgrade Maniac. Once you equip an item with given rarity, you are only allowed to replace it with the same rarity or rarer. There is some kind of, you know, gear slot progression challenge cooking somewhere in my head. I think how that would play out though is that I would be incentivized to put rune words in some slots and then just keep them rune worded. I guess you didn't even mention it. Ooh, a rune. Ort rune! Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we are getting... we are assembling Spirit, which I'm not actually that interested in. But Ort is a repair rune. So now we can repair a weapon and an armor. I guess repairing a javelin isn't that interesting. Oh, let's go! The rare first way in Arcane Sanctuary. I was starting to believe it was simply a myth. Ooh, getting sniped by the summoner.
Good riddance, freak.
Do you think the summoner is actually a summoner? Or is it just a cheap trick? Like he calls himself the summoner, so you prepare in the wrong way, and then when you meet him, he's actually just a spellcaster. Or like he summons icicles. Ooh, 24 hit recovery. Well, what's gonna make me keep my old belt is the 15 durability as opposed to the 9.
See,
I think he's a summoner in name only. It's like a taken name. Or maybe he made his character day one, thought that, well, summoners are pretty cool. Then he respect into something else. Or maybe you're allowed to wear a certain item up to 10 levels at the most. Someone suggested another time that I should only use boss loot, which I think is maybe a little bit restrictive. But I think that being forced to replace your item in some way could be a fun challenge. And maybe something like, yeah, we do with rarity, or where it comes from, or something. Because I don't think it's reasonable that you should replace your items whenever you find ones. For example, like from this pack I found a serpent skin armor. From this pack I find a Poignard. And then for the next pack, I'll find a bow. It's like I'm gonna be changing my loadout on literally every pack.
I can't carry anymore.
Well, I would run the risk of doing so anyway. So I think it would be too tedious too quickly if you replaced your weapon or whatever every time a new item dropped. Orc rune for repairing the Kelpy Snare. Genius. Well, we are approaching... Alright, we are approaching Duriel. We do have 2 skill points for 1 Impale. And we do have the Orc rune. Let's do it. Let's say goodbye to Death Fletch. And then let's grab a point in Impale, so it always hits. 25 durability. Do you see how slow he becomes? Look at the difference in their attack speed. This is comical. So hopefully it will turn out to be a stroke of genius rather than a catastrophic failure. But at worst it was like 6 extra stat points and 2 skill points. It looks pretty badass too. Very cool. But we should not waste them. Just need to keep finding Orc runes. Yeah. Now I only need to find an Orc rune every 50 pokes or so. I will still be using it very sparingly, of course. Dramatic slow motion camera, yeah.
I can't carry anymore.
And a big part of why I pull the trigger now is of course that we are soon approaching Duriel, and I think slowing Duriel for 75% is gonna be super strong.
I can't carry anymore.
Which is not a very controversial statement, I guess. Stroke of genius or massive blunder, find out soon. Yeah. A recurring segment on the Zarfen live show.
Overburdened. I can't carry anymore.
Ooh,
I need money.
scary.
I can't carry anymore.
Cubing these potions is... This was a very long-lasting poison.
I am overburdened.
Your inventory looks as messy as mine, even though I am not playing Hobo. Well, I guess how it looks is actually not that different from how I usually play. Ooh, 3 identification scrolls.
I need mana.
Brimming with confidence, I'm gonna open a safety portal in case I die. Actually, we don't need to fight every monster. We don't need to hunt down zombies.
I need mana.
Another bit of a tricky thing is that, let's say I kind of feel like I need to prepare a little bit for Duriel. Like I would like maybe a few more javelins. Well, I am pretty good on potions, but like a few more javelins and stuff, but it's hard to... It's pretty hard to actually get a farming, because I would need to farm the tombs, and the tombs have proven to be a little bit tricky for me. Luckily, as I said that, I did find a spear to go with the arrows. Hey Zarfen, did you look at the PoE2 update? You seem like a druid enjoyer. I'm afraid you have read me completely wrong. I am a certified druid hater. I did look a little bit, not that closely, because I realized that I won't have time to really play this patch. My next Diablo 2 video has taken way too long to get out, and I want to make sure that it actually comes out before the holidays. So no Path of Exile 2 for me at the launch of this patch, unfortunately. But from what I saw, I think it looks like they made the druid very unique, like some pretty unique game mechanics, which is cool.
I can't carry anymore.
Well, we are still killing the zombies in one javelin, so I guess I can't really complain too much.
I am overburdened.
For this challenge, you should not be allowed to use your own PC or house for that matter. You can only use library computers like a real hobo. Now that's funny. Streaming from the library. I am way too socially awkward, but it is a fun idea. Like to go to the library, act like I own the place and set up a stream? No way. Detour challenge, unique affixes on gear. None of your gear can share an affix with another one. I like it, but what a nightmare to keep track of everything. Especially as soon as you find your first rare, I think the challenge kind of falls apart, because ambush. Good thing it was zombies and not like beetles. But like as soon as you find your first rare and you try go and like have to try and figure out what the stats actually are, like the affixes. Are there any cyber cafes / internet cafes still in your country? I think in the big cities there are, but for a while in the early 2000s they weren't too uncommon. I remember even the decently small city I grew up in had internet cafes for a while, but they are very uncommon. Like, and if you need to use a computer, like not for gaming, like you would at a cyber cafe, but like if you need to use the internet, you can go to the library and borrow one for free. Ooh, Amrune, no way! That is one lucky Amrune. Well, maybe it's not actually that crazy to find an Amrune in Act 2 Nightmare, but like Shale, Thal, Amn, Peace for a level 15 Valkyrie, that should have our tanking problems sorted. And also Thal, Ort, Amn, Spirit. I joked, we found a 4-socketed sword last time, and I joked about using Spirit as a summon switch, but I don't think that's very good. We could use Ral, Amn, and a Perfect Amethyst to roll sockets in a weapon. The problem is that I will have to carry all of this around until, at the very least, I decide what I will do with it. But it seems like we should be able to find a use for an Amrune. We should also probably go to visit the Countess today. Rune bow. What do you think, chat? Should we roll sockets in the rune bow? It is not an elite bow, but it is exceptional, and I believe... Well, actually, maybe it's 5 sockets max. Because what you want to do, if you want to roll and aim for 4 sockets in something, you should ideally roll a base which has 4 sockets max, because then you are more likely to get the 4 socks. Exceptional bow. Decent damage, but of course bow damage in general is a little bad. Am for blood rune. For blood amulet, I mean. I read that wrong. Roll for a ring. Why does the Amazon not have a bow passive? Good question. Borb wands only next run. I don't think so. Didn't Luther do that recently? But yeah, maces and staves are in fact boosted by Mace Master, yeah, Mace Mastery does increase the damage of wands and staves. And there are actually a few staves which deal decent base damage. So there is the scaffolding of a monk build. I don't think it's very good. But yeah, we definitely got scammed out of having a bowmaster in the game. Though, to be fair, I don't think the barbarians' mastery skills are very fun. They feel a little bit uninspired. Like it's just a passive bonus to a weapon type. While powerful, it's not that fun to max out 20 points into a passive skill, right? Especially since they become pretty, like, they kind of become required in a way. 3 socketed ancient armor. And now we're starting to face those problems that like, what do I save for what? So if I wanted to make peace, do I hold on to a 3-socketed body armor, or do I look for one once I have the runes? And actually I'm not too keen on actually making peace, because I did invest a bit in my current armor, but peace could be so good. Like I talked about the Valkyrie from it, but you know, +2 Amazon skills too. I do want to go back for that scroll. Can't you shop 3-socketed armors? People who are allowed to venture into town can shop for 3-socketed armors pretty easily. But as this challenge is all about not going to town, where can the exit even be? I guess this is unexplored. It should be to the left, but I am pretty sure it's not here, because I think this was one of those rooms that can't have branching paths. Paths. Yeah, I forgot the challenge. It happens, it happens. And also, of course, if I could choose, a freaking ancient armor isn't my armor of choice for a peace rune word, but beggars can't be choosers. But I'm gonna leave that one for now. I think the fact that it's an ancient armor, if it had been like a breastplate, I might actually have picked it up and hope for that shale rune. Ooh, wow, I found so many identification tomes. So I guess I should start using them a little bit more aggressively now, since they are now taking up space outside of my tome. +6. Ooh, I only have 22 javelins left. Well, I know for a fact that I have left a couple of throwing spears around. But those have probably despawned by now. I guess we can look in the urns. Actually, let's save the urns, and if I need to find something before Duriel, we can go kick urns at player 7 or something. Scrolls needed for huge Duriel drop. Yeah, for the 6 rares that Duriel will drop. Alright, so this looks like it will be the room for the where you put in the staff. Right, we'll clear out that area and then we'll make a proper assessment of the situation. So we can start by getting rid of the stuff. And I mean, so far, I think the time spent in the act has been... I mean, it's been decently fast. No complaints about speed from me. How did you get to Act 2 without entering town to talk to Wariv? This one here. Alright. So we are at Duriel, but we have 5 javelins. Whoops. 5 javelins. 1 thawing potion. So actually I think we can give Duriel a try if I can get just a bit of a few more javelins. So let's do that, what we talked about before. Let's do players 7 urn kicking. A sight is unfortunately not a spear. Flawless sapphire. Well, if I'm gonna keep 1 sapphire, I kind of need to pick up the second, right? Otherwise, why did I carry around the first? Bastard sword, oil potions.
I am overburdened.
Don't be coy, Zarfen, just put the staff in the orifice. That's what we do. Rune bow. I mean, we still have the option of shooting the worm down with arrows. But I'm not too excited about that solution. No urns in here, huh? And the worst part is, of course, that I need to walk everywhere. So now, no matter how far back I backtrack, I will have to walk back. Pain. And of course, I kind of don't want to fight monsters now, because I increased the player setting to 7 to get more loot from the urns. But I don't necessarily want to fight player 7 monsters. Twin axe, nope. We need javelins or a spear to craft javelins. And now that I've committed to impale... This is a polearm, right? Yeah. Now that now that I have committed to impale, I'm not gonna turn my Kelpy snare into a stack of javelins. Well, now I can certainly afford to identify some rings. 21 cold resist, you say? I think I'm gonna do it. The magic find situation is looking alarmingly poor. Ooh, 59 life. Well, not for 25 magic finds. And you know, you can't find sweet loot if you keep trading away your magic finds at every opportunity. Ooh, I have terrible news, friends. I just threw my very last... I just threw my very last javelin. Help. Clutch block. Actually, the damage is pretty good. But I don't want to waste durability on it. Is the thing. And the damage is solid. For what it is. The chance to hit isn't great. Hey Jam, thank you for becoming a member and the super chat. Just a silly question. How is your pet skull? It's doing fine. It's funny that I kept skulls in my inventory for so long. Like, well, the regen could be really good. And now I'm running around with an empty socket in my armor. Because I don't think it's worth putting into my armor.
I am overburdened.
Alright, we should be able to find a spear out here, I hope. Or a straight up stack of javelins. War Scythe.
I can't carry anymore.
I actually don't know if that is a spear or a polearm. I think it's a polearm, but I'm gonna check. Oh! Unique! It is a polearm. Isn't this a Razor's Switch? A pretty good weapon, but not for me. It is Razor's Switch. 1 to all skills. Ooh, big life, big mana. 50 all res. Magic damage reduction, attack critics damage. Oh, that's very cool. Not that useful to me, but... Sorry, item preview is over. Run for your life. Oh, we have the javelin. And also... Well, now that we have the javelin, I can actually kill the enemies. So that's fine. I was gonna say I also saw a brandy stock. But I had literally not a single javelin to... You know, kill the monsters guarding the loot with. But now I do. Ooh, I can feel this being a 3-socketed breastplate. Well, it was, or it is, but it's ethereal. Ooh, ay, ay, ay. Alright, let's do one thing at a time, so I'm not overwhelmed. Not more than necessary. Another stack of javelins, beautiful. I think I need that. Or I want it anyway.
I am overburdened. I can't carry anymore.
4 to all resistances. 4 to all resistances or 21 to cold. I think 4 to all is more valuable actually. Alright, let's give Razor Switch a proper look. It looks sweet, but for an Amazon it's pretty bad, right? At best it's gonna be
I can't.
a Valkyrie casting switch, right? I mean, the defensive stats are looking mighty fine. But I need to deal damage, and I can't really with a switch staff. So, you know, cool to find uniques, but that's gonna stay on the ground. Since when ethereal matters, well, ethereal items are not only unable to be repaired, they also have reduced durability. Now this one rolled max, so 26 out of 26, but a non-ethereal breastplate has higher durability. So finding items ethereal is still bad for this character, because the durability will be lower naturally. Though it is offset by giving you higher defense, I guess.
I am overburdened.
This is looking mighty fine, but I think this is another instance... Or no, this is probably actually okay to use with Plague Javelin. I think this is fine to use with Plague Javelin, because Plague Javelin works a little bit differently with how poison stacks with sources. Alright, do we have what we came for? We do have javelins now. We have damaged maiden javelin. And then we have the reserve stack, 75 javelin. We are prepared for that shale rune drop from Duriel.
I am overburdened.
Recollect your thawing potion. Fine. I think hoping that a thawing potion will do much for us is a little bit ambitious, but maybe. And I need to throw something from my inventory away. Oh, actually a short spear as well, but not right now. Let's go for base 10 in Poison Javelin. And let's go and kill Duriel. It should be doable. I was gonna say easy, but I stopped myself. Ooh, no antidotes, huh? I did set it to players 1, but my chat broke somehow. But yeah, I did put it back to 1. Players Ethereal could be... It could be something, that's for sure. Alright, I am decent on potions. I am good on throwing weapons. And I believe that a quick poke with Impale and Kelpy Snare will do a lot. We'll see, I guess. Here goes nothing. Oh, I hit him. Run! Ooh. Yeah, I mean, you can really see how much that's the slow is doing for us. And I mean, I'm not dealing great damage to Duriel, but it is, you know, not insignificant either. It's very easy to like I said before, that it can be difficult to dodge Duriel, to like run away from him, but as long as he's slowed, I would say that it's extremely easy actually. And it lasts a long time. You could clearly see when the slow wore off and he started chasing me again. And also, actually, since you can repair items with Ral and Orc runes in the cube, being ethereal matters a lot, actually. Especially if you want to invest some runes and stuff in them. Ooh, run. Kelpy doing stuff, yeah. As usual, Kelpy Snare is absolutely amazing when you find it in a challenge run. Actually, I'm gonna try poking him now, before he... like, I don't need to wait for the slow to wear off before I poke him again, because it's safer to poke him as he is slowed. I'm gonna give him one more poke for good measure. And now he should be dead. Oh! Alright, he did die. Nice. And another orc bow. I do not mind that at all. Nice. Easiest boss I've ever seen. And now, unfortunately, we need to go back to town again. We need to speak to Jerin, and then we also need to speak to Meshif. So there's a lot of forced interaction. The town, it burns. Yeah, run! My skin is burning. Like...
Greet Jared. Good to see you.
A devil entering the church. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that Kelpy Snare did quite a lot. I'm not sure if Duriel would have been a brick wall even without the Kelpy. Since, I mean, we did get hit and we weren't insta-killed. I guess I used about half, like almost half my potions. Alright, Act 3. Zarfen, be careful when like basically I'm paraphrasing, but be mindful when inventory managing, putting runes next to socketed items. It's a surprise that it hasn't happened yet. But I'll try. I'll try to be mindful. Ooh, good question. What is the durability? It was 25 when we found it, I think, or 26. Then I know I lost one durability when I was looking for javelins. Ooh, now it's already 19. And of course, if you wonder why, Impale has a 46% chance of losing durability. Like when they revamped Impale, so that it always hits and is uninterruptible and slows target, couldn't they have removed the durability thing? Is it really game breaking if it doesn't have a disproportionate durability loss? I don't think so. I actually don't think the skill is that good, even as like as is. Let's go to not players 23. Let's go to players 3 a bit in the jungle for some added XP. It was 22 before Duriel. Alright, so not bad. I mean, if we lose 3 to 5 durability per boss, that's probably fine. And actually, I said I wanted to go to the Countess, and I do want to go to the Countess. But I guess I need to find the waypoint first. Don't want to use that... the communal waypoint in town. Hello! I'm laughing because I literally have the runes for spirit, like, found naturally without doing Countess farming. I guess I did a little bit of Countess killing. Like, what we did was we said that repeat farming is fine, but then I felt uncomfortable, like, power grinding a boss or an area. So basically what I said was that we can farm areas we've been to previously, but maybe let's try to limit it to doing it once per stream or something, so we don't, like, do 2-minute runs and then reset the town over and over. But now we could go and kill the Countess once, since it's a new game anyway, because I continued. A jade figurine, yeah. Jade figurine. I think I have found the jade figurine 3 times now and left it on the ground. 2 times in normal and now once in nightmare. Poor Mischief. His collection is gonna be left as is. And not only is the Valkyrie a strong tank, a level 15 Valkyrie from Peace is also very, like, she packs a punch, whereas this Amazon kind of like, yeah, you see, that's not a lot of damage. Ooh, heal rune. Well, actually, how useful is a heal rune? Not that useful. Well, it could be used if I make a mistake with a socket. Ooh, Black Marsh. I don't like the look of that. Oh, unfortunately, I'm already running out of my cool javelins. And I think, even though Plague Javelin is javelin efficient, I think it's too spammy to be using runes to repair a pair of javelins, unfortunately. Otherwise, it could be quite fun to... Oh, I can't speak. It could be quite fun to, or not fun, but it could be cool to find a good set of maiden javelins, because they have good quantity, 120, and also bonus to skills. Did I not find any arrows somewhere?
It's locked.
What? I must have dropped my keys in the desert and not picked them up. It's impossible that they are already out. Well, it's not actually at all impossible, but I don't believe it. Ooh. Alright. Decent on
I am overburdened.
javelins for now. Can bring down requirements. I just have a hard time seeing that being too relevant in this run. Well, it's only 8 left, so I'm gonna leave them. I have a hard time seeing that being too relevant for this character. Like, if I find something with too high requirements, it's probably not gonna be my choice of item anyway, right? And like, speaking of my build, if I could have started the game now, like level 44, now I could maybe have been persuaded into going for lightning spells. But you know, the path here, I definitely think it was the right call to use Plague Javelin. But like now in the jungle, I wouldn't mind Lightning Fury at all. Is LK farming allowed? Yeah, sure, but in the same way, I wouldn't feel comfortable, or well, it wouldn't make me uncomfortable, but I don't like allowing myself to like do a 30-second LK run and then reset into town like
I can't carry anymore.
20 times in a row.
I can't carry anymore.
So even though we didn't forbid town farming or like repeat farming, it feels a little bit weird to me if I were to just repeat the same area over and over, because then you go to town like every couple of minutes.
I can't carry anymore.
It unfortunately looks like we need to head into the Great Marsh. Well, actually, this kind of looks like one of those weird maps where you even have to leave the spider forest before you can find the spider cavern. Actually, it could be continue up here, I guess. Okay, never mind. We'll see.
I am overburdened.
Oh, thank you, Gamers DC. For 8 months. That's a long time. Thank you for the support. Inspired by your crazy challenges, I've been doing a uniques only barbarian. Managed to get my first weapon at level 8. A club I have been using to bonk people. A club, you say? Is it the stout nail? Well, good luck with your challenge. I think that the barbarian is perhaps the most challenging for a uniques only run. Fell oak. Right, the stout nail is a spiked club. What's even the stats on fell oak? It's been a very long time since I held a fell oak in my hands. Lots of 20 fire resist, 60 lightning resist, and some fire damage.
I can't carry anymore.
Well, you can use that light rest to farm Rakanishu, I guess. Well, actually, on the barbarian especially, it's pretty great to have a weapon be your first unique, right? Anyway, that's cool. I'm very happy if I can inspire people to play the game in... I was gonna say silly ways, but not necessarily silly, but like in different ways, because I think there's lots of fun to be had when you restrict yourself.
I am overburdened.
I'm loving the experience gain anyway. So a bit of a funky map, like if I walked past here, I entered the Great Marsh, but there was a lot of the spider jungle, the spider forest left in this direction. Amazon skills. 1 max damage. Do we really keep all these runes with us? I am not so sure. Glaive, another type of javelin. Let's see what the quantity looks like. 60 max? Nah. Not interested. I rewound and watched the Duriel fight and was amazed by how easy it was with Kelpy Snare. Kelpy Snare is truly such an amazing item. And I don't think I have done a challenge where I found it, where it hasn't played an important role. Well, if I'm gonna find another stack of glaives, well, actually, even 60, like even a max stack isn't too appealing, like at 60. Yeah, the Great March is truly the most useless zone in the game. Nothing great about it. Well, there are more zones in the game like that, but I think the Great March takes the prize because it's a jungle area. So we didn't find the spider cavern, but instead the Arachnid Lair, but that's the waypoint. And thank you, Lomi, one Lomi, for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. It's a great pain. That's true. I guess a great can be used to describe both good and bad. Ooh, is there any arrows around? Are there any arrows around? Doesn't look like it. Ancient armor. Actually, it's funny. I'm thinking about it in the back of my head, like a base or sockets. And I kind of don't. I don't want an ethereal base, because if I make my piece in this, then I'm gonna have 26 durability and it's done. But I also don't want a heavy armor, because I am kind of relying on kiting, so I do want the movement speed. Countess time. That would have been a good time to go to the Countess, actually. Right after finding the waypoint. But let's find some quest items. Now that I'm running in the jungle, anyway. Ooh. As close to death as you can get. Maiden Javelin, you say? 116 too. It's a shame that there's no way to make something cool out of those, like a pair of white Maiden Javelins. Find a useful armor first before going to the Countess. I think this is serviceable.
I can't carry anymore.
You know, unless you grind the Countess, there's no guarantee that you'll find the runes for even the mid-level rune words. Ooh, heavy bracers. The unique luck continues. But I think that if I get the runes for peace, I would make them in this. I wouldn't wait for a better one, I think. But heavy bracers. That is ghoul something, right? Ghoul hide. Mana steel, actually, not that bad. And you know, some big bonuses to undead. Mana steel and 20 life or 30 lightning resistance. Durability could be considered as well. But I don't think mana steel is that great, because most of our damage isn't physical anyway. Flawless ruby. I think the skull plays aren't happening. Actually, someone talked about making a blood amulet before. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna use the am rune for that, because it's runeward material, right? But actually, doesn't the blood amulet give you faster run speed? Run speed on an amulet seems pretty nice. Ooh, put that skull in the last slot in your armor and call it for now. Yeah, let's do that. That's fine. Because now we are really looking to make an armor rune word. Orc tier, flawless sapphire and flawless skull. Objectively adding to my character. Like adding objectively positive stats. Am I wrong, or did you find 0 magic javelins up until now? I think I found literally 0 magic javelins. Maybe I have missed some, but I mean I am keeping an eye out for them at all times. And I believe I have not found a single one now. Speculative bone shield, Shale F for a very good shield rune word, but I don't have either of the runes, and I don't have the inventory space. Blood amulet, 4 life steal, 10 to 20 life, and 5 to 10 FRV. Well, that might make me consider a blood amulet over peace. No, it's not going to, but it is interesting. I could definitely see myself making a blood amulet at some point. Like, such a cowardice character really wants a bit of run speed to kite for running away. And having it in the amulet slot seems pretty good. Not only because it's a way to guarantee it, and not only because my boots are pretty good and do not have run speed, but also an amulet will never break. So I could keep that run speed with me forever. On the flip side, a amulet has so much more potential. Like, if I get a bad bloodcraft on the amulet, it's gonna suck, because like my current one has 25 MF, and you could get amulets with skills.
I am overburdened.
I'm not gonna carry those with me any longer. Field plate, that is maximum of 2 sockets, I believe. The last time I saw this stream, the durability on these boots was 1. Did you repair them or found the same pair? We did repair them with the cube, using a rail rune and putting the hotspurs in the cube to repair them. Every time I see you don't look like a goblin monkey king, I'm surprised. Every time? Well, I can't blame you. For bonus points, now find Kalim's other eye. If you have played Warcraft 3, and I mean the campaign, there is a hidden item called Wirt's other leg, which is kind of funny. And I forget what it does, unfortunately, but there is an item in the game called Wirt's other leg. Live on a Monday. I am. I'm back. I am through a horrible cold, and I am live, all on a Monday. So I was hoping I could go up here so I could avoid the Great Marsh, but it doesn't look like we're skipping the Great Marsh, unfortunately. Looks like we have to head into the very mediocre marsh. Frozen Throne human campaign last mission. You fight like a giant abomination called the Butcher for it. Oh, that's cool. I did not remember that. What a lore mess. You kill the Butcher and you find Wirt's other leg. Well, actually, that's not too crazy, right? They are lore connected, Wirt and the Butcher. Hey Alex, I have not tried the PoE2 Druid yet, and I will probably not play this patch of Path of Exile 2. At least not before the year end. Well, at least not on the channel. And I don't know when the next update is coming, but
Good day to you, partner.
if I don't do it now, it's not that much of a pressing issue. Ooh, souls. Well, actually, I was just gonna say my lightning resistance should be very decent now, and it was indeed.
I am overburdened.
But yeah, short answer, because I did talk a little bit about it. It looks cool. But I'm probably not gonna play Path of Exile 2 for a while. Because now I'm doing this run, and then I need to finish a video that has been delayed. Ooh, run! Well, that's how souls get you. You feel safe because you have good resistance, but they can really smack you. Alright. So much for a death-free stream. Second death.
I can't carry anymore.
All that gold. All that gold. Actually, I'm going the wrong way. I forgot where I put my town portal. Yeah, and so it begins, the walk of shame. Exactly, especially when you do it live, and then you have to like walk back with your character visibly being recently defeated. Can't you hire a mercenary when you start a new act? Since you have to go through it anyway. No, we decided to do it like... It's not only that I can't visit town unless when I absolutely have to. I can't talk to any unnecessary people either. So... no optional talking or quest rewards when just passing through. Never played Diablo 1. I have played Diablo 1, but very few times. And I have never beaten Diablo in Diablo 1.
I am overburdened.
It could be worse. At least Nightmare is not the start effect. You could die in the cave on the normal on stream. Well, that's an oddly specific example. I have no idea why you brought up the cave. Well, luckily I got my gold back. The lion's share of it anyway.
I am overburdened.
And now we can pretend like nothing ever happened again. Souls in the Great Marsh is not quite enough to make me go back down to players 1, because I do think the extra experience has been super nice. Running around on players 3, that is.
I can't carry anymore.
Ooh, defensive auras. As I'm picking that up and identifying it, I am thinking to myself, and I didn't say it out loud for some reason, but like, it's so unlikely that you find an upgrade. Like, a good amulet is so rare.
I am overburdened.
But also, to find a good amulet, you need to identify them. So like, if I want that elusive plus 2 skills amulet, I need to actually pick them up and identify them. And then I got it, but for the wrong class and skill tree. Second time's the charm. Get out of here.
I am overburdened.
I like long walks of shames. Really gives you time to reflect on your mistakes.
I can't carry anymore.
Yeah, it makes you want to play better to not repeat it, that's for sure. You mean extra experience, which you lost to the death to begin with. Yeah, exactly. I'm slightly confused by the layout of this map. So I guess we're just running ahead and hoping that we eventually go into the Flare jungle.
I can't carry anymore.
Actually, Plague Javelin is not terrible against the souls, because it kind of spreads out, so it's easy for them to like walk into your cloud. Oh, nice. War Javelin, you say? when I thought about the plan beforehand, I really thought we would be using a lot more like varied sets of javelins. But it turns out that most of our javelins actually come from the recipe, like crafting them with a spear and a quiver of arrows. And that always makes javelins. So the times we've been using anything else has been kind of few and far between.
I am overburdened.
A shameful safety TP, just in case. Ooh, sneaky elite. I didn't see that. That was the elite from the player shaman. A pylum is not great, but if it's self-repaired, oh, it's ethereal. Well, I'm with pylums having only well, actually 75. I thought they had 60. I must have been thinking about a short spear. Alright, so if this would have had self-repair, could actually have considered using them.
I can't carry anymore. I can't carry anymore. I am overburdened.
A jewel, you say? With a full tome, or almost full tome, we could identify it. Oh, I'm trying to rush ever so slightly, but it's kind of tricky to do in the jungle. It's so easy to get surrounded. And I am fairly tanky, but I'm not that tanky. Well, I guess I can invest some of my stat points. A 50 is a little much to be saving, actually, and I have decent strength and dexterity. So let's actually dump them all for now. Might regret that when I find a unique I want to wear, like next level, but that's fine. What a strange area. Nothing here. And no way through. Why not using the pylum? Because this is a stack of 90, and this was a stack of like 70 when I found it. I could have used the pylums for sure, but... Well, actually, maybe the pylums were actually better than the ones... Like, maybe I did have more pylum quantity than the quantities I have on my current ones. I actually didn't look too closely. But it was more like they weren't great or that much better. Another ring. Cathans. I think I had Cathans some point earlier as well. But some lifesteal and flat damage reduction is not quite what I'm looking for. Ballista. Imagine if this was Burisa du Canon. You threw away Cathans during Act 1. I did use it for a while, so if I threw it away in Act 1 Nightmare, that seems plausible to me. I'm gonna go on a full discovery loop around the stupid jungle, aren't I?
I can't carry anymore.
Spiculum? 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 30! What a joke. 30 max quantity. That seems like forced variety for the sake of variety. Seems very hard to use a pair of javelins that have 30 max quantity. Ooh, free healing. Never say no to free healing. Backtracking so I don't miss the exit. How's the run going? Still a hobo or a hero already? Well, we did save Herogaf once in normal, so I guess we are partly heroes. But we're also still hobos. Hey Zarfen, lovely to catch you online. It's a nice change from the 1 HP stress run. The 1 HP stress run, that was a really long time. Or is that something you're doing? 1 HP run. I've been meaning to get back to that at some point, but it is very stressful, so it's not something to stream for a nice relaxing stream, the 1 HP thing.
I can't carry anymore.
Replenish life 1. Light plate. Ah, 2 sockets. Well, 2 sockets, that could be a stealth, and stealth would also be very good. But that's extremely, you know, speculative to go around dedicating so many slots for another armor. And I don't have Tal or F. I guess Tal and F should, in theory, be quicker to find than a single shale that I need per piece, actually, now that I think about it. But a shale is, or a piece is certainly more powerful, so I think it's better to aim for that. Not having great luck with, like, finding the right area today. First we went through all of the spider forest, then we went through many areas and nooks and crannies of the Black March, and now we find the dungeon last in the jungle. I guess we did get first way in the Arcane Sanctuary for once, so... Four. Oh, I did have another stack. All good then. It is tempting to make spirit. It is tempting just to free up the inventory space with runes, but I can't dedicate either of my gear slots to a Valkyrie pre-buff stick anyway, right? So I'm actually not saving any... I'm actually not saving inventory space. I am losing inventory space for +2 levels to Valkyrie when I summon her. And summoning her in the first place with 2 more levels isn't that powerful, I don't think. Did you have any prior experience in editing videos? No. Well, my Diablo videos aren't the very first videos you see. But I did learn it from scratch when starting to make videos. Actually, I felt that damage that I took, so I'm gonna throw up a quick safety porty. And for sure, in a place like this, it would be much nicer to have Lightning Fury, because it has longer range, and if you hit something, it will expand and hit a bunch of other enemies. Ooh, walking right into the poison traps. Curious how I didn't get poisoned from the first one. Or the second one, I guess. Because now I walked into it again.
I can't carry anymore.
Should be a left here. Let's go for it. I got fourth weight back to back once. Sometimes you are just cursed. Or well, I guess it's more that you remember the times you 4-way, at least for me, but you don't remember the times you first way. Well, I remember today because it just happened, but... And this is scary. Bunch of elite dolls. I guess I don't kill them very quickly, so it should be hard to be like surprise exploded. Like you can with something like, oh nice, 666 gold. But like if you play a Hammered In, for example, it's very easy to accidentally blow up a bunch of dolls quicker than you can react. But I won't have that problem with this character. Oh, and I just realized actually, the thing I did on level 1, running past a bunch of enemies to run to the objective quicker. Not very smart when you need to backtrack when you go out of the area. You inspired me to get back on Diablo 2 to play Boazon and have fun. Nice. I do like the Boazon a lot. Great fun character. Very bow dependent, because playing a Boazon with a bad bow can feel really crap.
I can't carry anymore.
Warfork. I actually think I need to grab that. Any arrows? I'm going to reluctantly pick this fork up. But what do I throw away? 28 mana is probably a bit of a luxury, not strictly required. I probably have a few too many gems. Alright, let's rationalize. What would I do with a perfect sapphire? I could use it for 38 mana. I could craft a hit power thing with it. I don't think I'm gonna do either of those. Even though I have been carrying around those sapphires for a long time. Sometimes you just need to come to terms with how useless the loot you're carrying around is. You need some time. you need time to come to the conclusion yourself. It doesn't help that people tell you to throw it away. It needs to come from inside. Well, nice and cheesable Witch Doctor Undugu. Oh, he's actually not here, huh? Sometimes the Witch Doctor boss is not actually at the chest. Funnily enough, oddly enough. Oh, thank you, Run for Days 6 for the Prime sub. I missed that before, sorry about that. And thank you, Andynamus, for the Prime sub as well. Thank you for the support.
I am overburdened.
Now there's so many locked chests with sneaky runes that you can't throw away. Exactly. We need the keys because we're about to head into Lower Kurast, right? Imagine all the riches we will find. I'm gonna hate backtracking out of this place without town portaling. How much I would give for a random teleport staff right now. I would give you all my gold for the teleport staff. Every single piece.
Impossible.
Impossible, you say?
I can't carry anymore.
I just need to make sure. Did I actually pick up the... I did. 1, 2. Alright. I would hate to forget a quest item and have to backtrack to one of the dungeons without going to town. I do not have a Discord server, no, and I am not really looking to create one either. Running a Discord server doesn't seem like something I want to do, unfortunately. Oh, I couldn't even take a shortcut. This was really the long way around. Well, I only have to go down here once, I guess, is the silver lining. Even witch doctors need to visit the toilet once in a while. That's true. I shouldn't shame anyone for leaving their post once in a blue moon. Ah, I'm being hunted by a small maniac with a large knife. Alright, and here was that place where I ran past an area. Though actually it didn't seem... I didn't really get punished for it, because it doesn't seem like there were that many enemies waiting in ambush. Alright, nice. And now we should, since we've been spending so much time running around in this area already, we should find the Lower Kurast entrance fairly soon. I can't pick up the Gidbin, but I did it for the extra elite fight. I should cube more rejuves, but well, okay, it's hard to it's hard not to do it when you literally find 3 at the same time. But what I was gonna say was that it felt like a bit tedious, so I didn't like wanna spend the time or whatever. Spend the time. I think the heal rune can go. Can it? I think Lionheart is a bit too ambitious, like Fell and Lam. I think that I shouldn't need it to correct mistakes. So I'm gonna leave it. Actually, now that I have the Tal rune, I don't need the Ith runes, actually. The only reason I kept 2 Ith runes was to make a Tal rune, but then I found the Tal rune naturally. So the Ith runes can go. What are the chances of finding a teleport staff in the wild? Good question. I have no idea, because if I need one, I'll buy one, because they're not that rare to buy. But that is a good question, and I guess I don't even pick up and identify them. Staffs, I mean. But it should be pretty rare, because it is... it's only one suffix, like off teleportation. So I'm not sure it's even worth the scrolls, like on average, to try for it.
I can't carry anymore.
Alright, we are here. We have arrived. Oh, no time for a Pepsi break. Rude. Rude lurkers. Oh yeah, exactly. I'm not allowed to buy a teleport staff. But like, I have no idea how rare they are to find, because I meant like in other situations, if I need one, I'll buy one. So it's not like I ever farm for a teleport staff, like trying to find it from monsters.
I am overburdened.
Ah!
I can't carry anymore.
That was my desperate. My inventory is full. Always cry. I think once we find the next waypoint, we are going back to kill the Countess once and hope for that shale rune. Because as lucky as we've been with runes so far, you know, getting a shale rune is not that common outside of the Countess. Like, you are not guaranteed to find even one shale rune on a normal playthrough. Definitely not one of the rarest runes. But it's not like a Ral or a Tal in terms of rarity.
Impossible.
Ooh, and I'm out of... Maiden Javelin, eh? Ooh, 64 out of 120, but well, still 64 Maiden Javelins, I'll take those. Of course, Maiden Javelins, the preferred... Ooh, this has +2 even, very nice. So when it says cracked Maiden Javelin, I think they actually mean it in the positive sense, like... Bro, that dude's cracked. You know, how you say. I'm looking for the waypoint. Okay, here it is. Nice. Could also... I know we were going to the Countess, but we could also check for a second bonfire on the map first. I don't want to backseat, but weren't you looking for arrows? I was. Did I skip some? There's too much to think about. But yes, I am looking for arrows. To make more javelins. Backseating is fine though. I have no problem with backseating. If I don't feel susceptible, if I don't feel like I want backseating at any given moment in time, I simply ignore the backseating. Right, does not seem like we have another bonfire. Blue glaive.
I can't.
You skip a lot of arrows. Hold on now. Is that really true? Oh. Maybe I do skip some arrows every now and then. Evidence seems to support that I do in fact skip arrows now and then. Alright, let's do a backtrack to the Black Marsh. Haven't been there in a while, and also we should probably grab the
This is the site of
waypoint.
Duriel's atrocities.
No, this is the Goblin's first time playing Diablo 2. Please, no spoilers. Backseating is fine, but keep it spoiler free. And then I should go to players 1 if we're doing Countess. Killing Countess. Killing the Countess.
I shall purge this land of the shadow.
I wonder why I didn't pick up the waypoint in the Black Marsh. Surely I should have seen some Countess repeats coming.
I can't carry anymore.
Maybe I was impatient. That happens sometime when I'm streaming. That I feel like I am lingering too long somewhere. And I know for a fact that most people don't mind, because that is kind of the way I play the game, right? And make content. I take my sweet ass time. Ceremonial Javelin! This could have been Titan's Revenge. And also, this is proof that complaining works, because I was complaining that I haven't found any magical javelins, but on this stream, this is like the third pair, maybe even more. Oh, I guess I didn't really look at the stat requirements. 109, ooh. You were trying to finish Act 1 before the end of stream, I think. That sounds like a very plausible reason. That happens a lot. So I don't think I want to do it. I don't think I want to carry these around with me right now. Because I am several levels away from equipping them. And it's only 48 quantity. But I guess I should start working towards a higher dexterity, because Amazon-specific javelins in particular can be super strong. So I guess we have to weigh the pros and cons. Pros? More... I actually don't really care about the base damage that much. At least not with this spec. So like... It's not like better Amazon javelins being worth the dexterity or not, but like if we say that in the future we will find 30 more maiden javelins and 30 more ceremonial javelins on the playthrough, is it worth investing the dexterity to gain access to both of those, or should I be satisfied with the maiden javelins and you know, is the stat points better spent into vitality, and then I will have to forego some amount of ceremonial jabs? I guess it is what it comes down to. And when I phrase it like that, I have no idea. In general, it feels kind of bad to invest stat points for something that you will be able to use for like between 50 and 100 attacks, right? Investing stat points solely for javelins. That are, well, all items are guaranteed to break, I guess, except bows. It would be easier for me to invest the skill points to wear a bow, or the stat points to wear a bow, because then you can use the same bow but new arrows. But I guess if you think about it, it's not actually that different to invest skill points for a pair of javelins. Well, arrows are more common than javelins, I guess. Oh, good map too, actually.
I can't carry anymore.
Did I even... Yeah, so I've been in the Forgotten Tower at least once, so the map should be discovered. Titans has replenished stack size. Alright, that is true. Imagine, we need to prep for the Titans find, you are right. Hi Zarfen, love all your D2 content. Oh, thank you, Ghost. I appreciate it. It is pretty amazing to be in a position where you can make a video and lots of people watch it and like it. But you can also stream and people watch it and like it. It feels very fortunate for me in that way. And even making shorts and people watch it and enjoy it. Though I haven't made that many shorts. I have 2 on the channel right now. I mean, eventually you will find some jabs with replenished quantity. I like the, how do you say, not enthusiasm, what's the word I'm looking for? The positiveness. But yeah, if I pick up every single magic javelin I find, which I should find a pair eventually. Optimism, thank you, that's the word. Isn't positiveness the word? No? Oh, right, fine. Maiden Spear.
I can't.
I think it would be a neat little flavor thing if Maiden Spears turned into Maiden Javelins. I was sure there were some arrows around here. Well, I'm not hurting. I have 50 here, 64 here, and 40 here. Unfortunately, they are all different kinds. These are war javelins, and these are normal javelins, so I can't stack them, but... I think, in general, I worry too much about everything. So I worry too much about small things, like... the javelins I'm using now are gonna be gone in 40 attacks. Another heal rune. So I have another chance of carrying around the Hell Rune. Actually, should I go back for the other Hell Rune? This run is flawless. There's nothing that can go wrong with Zarfen at the wheel. Surely nothing can go bad. Normal javelins a nightmare. These are the goats, because you can actually make them in the cube.
I am overburdened. I can't carry anymore.
I'm gonna leave it. I think the heal rune that I dropped in the Flare jungle or whatever should still be there, but... What's the biggest worry with this challenge? Things that can go horribly wrong. Good question. I think that we did have a sketchy situation in the tombs today, like Talrasha's tombs, where I ran out of javelins completely. And since I can't take a town portal to town and just, you know, take a quick hike back to Act 1 for some easy enemies, I could actually run out of javelins completely. And the further into the game we get, the bigger of a problem that's gonna be. Because right now I do have on my weapon switch Kelpy Snare, a very solid weapon, and even though I am not built around a poking two-handed spear, I do have 2 skill points. I can actually kill Chaff with Kelpy Snare. So I think the biggest worry is to run out of javelins completely and be in an area where I cannot easily go and grab more. And also hell in general, because I am relying on poison magic, which sooner or later will start feeling a little weak. Unfortunately. Alright, let's continue the adventure. I'm going back up to players 3. Still doesn't show up in chat. I was gonna say, so you just have to trust me, but we can actually double check, because I didn't get the confirmation either. Oh, oh. I wonder why Mr. Streamer Man is running around without the Valkyrie. And that is a good question. Don't worry, eventually you'll find a Sod rune for your melee weapon. Well, the problem is that I'm not gonna be able to put a socket in my Kelpy Snare for the Sod rune anyway, since that would require Larsak. I guess my ethereal jagged star. Oh, not ethereal. Alright, what's the plan right now? I guess I don't need a plan, I can just, you know, keep moving. Ooh, 5 fire resist. It feels so expensive to use charms. Whatever. And actually, we are killing the Countess soon. No, the Council, not the same. And the Council has decent rune drop chances, or like rune drop loot tables. So maybe those can give us our Shale rune. Maybe you can just text him for a socket. Yeah, imagine if Larsuk did on-call socketing. You just phoned him up and he came to your location. I guess he would need to haul his anvil, which might be a bit much to ask. Ooh, that's not great damage. I mean, I am on players 3, but... So actually, let's go to players 1 for this area specifically, because of the stupid zombies. Did you play the PoE2 patch? Turning into a dragon is so much fun. Now that's how you make a druid. Why would I want to turn into a bear or a werewolf? I want to turn into a freaking dragon, man. Ooh, I'm stuck. Please don't die. I'm gonna drink 2 health potions just to be safe. Right, I survived. Going back to what I said before about I'm actually not killing enemies that quickly. That dolls aren't a huge problem. Though this is a huge problem. It's a medium problem. No, it's a pretty big problem, actually. Ooh, my hard-earned rejuves that I have worked so hard to cube. Come on, it's just one more. Run! Oof. Okay. Closest call in a while. I would say closest call for the entire stream, if you... As long as you don't count the times where I actually died. Okay, well, I didn't use that many full rejects actually. But that was a little bit scary, for sure. You're gonna do hell too? Well, if you had asked me before that exchange, I would have said yes. Now I'm not so sure. No, I'm just kidding. That is the plan. So now I should... Man, I'm walking into the same trap again, but this time it was just a few dolls. Which, oddly enough, when they fight your minions are actually not that scary, because minions don't take explosion damage from the dolls. Hitting the elite with Kelpy Snare, yeah, that could have been a good call. I was in full on panic mode, but I should definitely have hit the elite once with Kelpy Snare, that's true. But I really thought I was dead there. Ooh, I'm about to walk into another surround. Trying super hard to avoid... enemies, but I keep walking into dead ends. That chest was totally worth it, lol. Yeah, what a golden chest, huh? Alright, so sewer enjoyers, since the chest was here, should I go in this direction instead, or should I keep going clockwise? This is one map that I never really learned. Ooh, Zarfen, what do you think about the truncated stash tabs? Will they throw us a bone and give us more space? Yeah, referencing some... I think it was some leaked China client thing. No, actually, it's in the game right now, right? With the latest update. Only that we haven't seen it on my stream because I haven't been to the stash today. Yeah, there's space for two more stash tabs now in the stash, right? Which could mean that we are getting more stash tabs. If you really want to build yourself up for disappointment, imagine if it meant that we're getting currency tabs like stackable runes and then a tab to store an infinite amount of runes, if you really want to dream. I honestly have no idea what to expect or hope for with Blizzard and Diablo 2 right now. I try to keep my expectations very low. Lex, when they wrote, "We have some crazy things planned," and then went quiet for the coming months. I was gonna upgrade a flawless emerald so I could do a safety craft on a pair of javelins. But I actually think I am more likely to get use out of a perfect ruby. Well... Man, I should have just sworn an oath to not bother with any of the gems, honestly. I think I'm spending time and energy on something that won't matter anyway. What, really? They found the guy who said that crazy things are coming up and fired him for that. What? Really? Now I feel a little bit bad, but also... yeah. That did not land well with the Diablo 2 community. But also very sad, because if they fired him for that, it's pretty safe to say that we are not getting anything. They are not working on anything, basically, right? If they fired him for saying that, or tweeting that. $3 gem tab, $5 rune tab. Man, I'll pay that for sure, even in single player. Well, actually, I ran into this problem a little bit when I did the Path of Exile 2 stream. Since all my characters are completely self-contained. What is this shit? My loot is on an isolated island. I guess the enemies are also on an isolated island, but... Hello? What's up with this? Imagine if it was a unique. But yeah, like I was saying, like all my characters are self-contained, so I wouldn't want like 200 Rel runes in my rune stash tab anyway. And also, I entered here, took the long way around, which actually wasn't that long. I've definitely seen bigger sewers. And then it was here. I guess when I found the sparkly chest and asked if I should have turned around, I really should have. Ooh, I am running low on health potions for the first time in a while. That is of course another problem, like if I start to struggle in battle to the point where I run out of potions and stuff. And if the game is hard, like in Hell, that could also be a problem for this character. River of Flame did that. There was a flesh spawner trap alone with so many spawns. That's kind of funny. Do they only care about sorceresses with teleport, huh? Well, I did say I wanted to identify them, but this is one base item I'm not happy about, because this has max 60 quantity. I guess it matters less on a self-repair stick, because I think the replenishment is not as a percentage of the total, but a flat, you know, 1 per every X seconds. Laughs in Barb and Sork. Nah, I'm joking. Oh, alright. Well, I should have read the follow-up quicker. Joking on the internet, how dare you? I'm too gullible for that. Yeah, let's go! And here you can see I can't repair either, but this has 43 out of 50 durability, whereas this has 26 out of 26. And sure, it has more defense, but who cares on a character like this? Now I am happy to make peace in this, because then I can repair it with a rune, and also it has like 50% more durability to start with. Thanks for good videos while eating. Well, enjoy your food, sir. Or madam. Another short spear, eh? Well, if I identify the last one, I should identify this too. But lifesteal is not what I'm looking for. Oh, I must have exactly ran out. Well, actually, I was about to, you know, leave this on the ground and go look for a spear to, or a pair of arrows to craft more javelins, but I might as well use them. And it is also very funny that after I said that I expected to be wearing, logging around a more diverse set of javelin types, but I've been mainly using normal javelins. After that, I found basically exclusively different types. GG, Zarfen, this is yet another great challenge you embark on. Keep them coming. I'm glad you like them. Glad you enjoy them. Are we allowed to respec? No, simply because you need to speak to Akara in town. And it's actually never required that you speak to Akara. And since it is optional and not forced, I can never respec. The only side quest we have managed to... well, I was looking for another word, but the only thing that came up in my mind was scammed. And I guess that is kind of apt. The only side quest we have scammed our way to receiving is the 2 skill points from Isuel. Because if you kill Isuel, you fulfill all the requirements for the quest. And then, after you defeat Diablo, you need to speak to Duriel to go to Act 5. And simply by speaking to Duriel, you do get the quest reward for Isuel as well. But that is basically the only... well, that's not true. The Hellforge as well, because that takes place completely outside of town. So it's the Hellforge... Isuel quest, and I guess Radament. If you, I mean, I never did Radament because it felt like no matter how we phrased it, it felt to me like an extra trip to town to enter the sewers. But you could count that. But other than that, most or all side quests require you to speak to someone in town, which you don't actually need to speak to. Like saving Anya is off the table. Saving Deckard Cain is off the table. You could kill Bloodraven, but you don't get the mercenary reward unless you speak to Kasha. And there is no forced reason to ever speak to Kasha. Same with the mercenary girl in this act. You never have any reason to speak to her, so even if you fulfill the requirement for a free mercenary, you can't actually get the mercenary. With how we are interpreting the rules. Actually, ooh. It's probably too late, but I should have gone down to players 1. I think I was on players 3 still. Now I am on players 1. Oh, hold that thought. The Spirit Shroud. 10 life replenishment. 7 magic damage reduction. Those are good stats, by the way, for a character like this. Cannot be frozen. I have been chilled recently, and it's been annoying. But also, of course, +1 to all skills. Beautiful. I'll miss the 30 lightning res for sure, but... Nice, that's a really nice find, very cool. A very nice find. I love it. 18 durability. Ooh, a little sketchy, but it's fine.
I am overburdened.
Ooh, and actually... Now, I think we can still go for peace, because I still think peace would be better. 2 Amazon skills, and then the auxiliary stats are probably better, but still a very nice find. Very happy with that. The Spirit Shroud, Ghost Armor. Cool, cool, cool. I was saying something about the count still and players 3, but whatever. Less red pots to carry too. Yeah, I mean, look at this life regen. It's not like I can stave off damage mid-combat, maybe. But it's not terrible life regen, right? I mean, it ticks up very steadily. I think a big healing potion is like 33 life replenishment or equivalent. Well, actually, the council should be pretty easy. I can just cheese them from below the balcony. I guess I will actually miss the T rune, the 2 mana after each kill from the T rune on my gemmed armor. But that's fine, probably. For like when I progress, I need to spam it. Plague Javelin, that is.
I need mana.
Well, there goes our 3rd Sapphire, but of course I never kept the other ones. And another one. .77 fire resistance, courtesy of Hotspur. It's nice, but I still don't want to tank damage unnecessarily, because we do of course also care about our durability. Even though it is secondary to surviving.
Skatsim's reign is renewed.
And also, I should do a gear check, I suppose, every now and then. Though, of course, if you're watching live, you can find a link to the gear at the top of the chat. Pity you can't Larsic it. Yeah. Yeah. Lightning Javason deals a lot less damage on paper, but I was 1 to 2 shotting large groups of monsters in Nightmare. I think that one thing that Plague Javelin has going for it is that it deals more damage per javelin thrown, except against very large groups. So I think that it has that going for it, but also a big reason is that Lightning Fury is a level 30 skill, and I do have it available to me now. But this is a level 18 skill, and like when we first unlocked Plague Javelin, we really needed the help. But like if I could respec now, I could see myself going for Lightning Fury instead. Definitely. Because it has longer range also. Like this explodes like what's that, like half the screen, a third, or like a third of the screen away. And it has good coverage. But Lightning Fury, you could snipe enemies at the edge of the screen. You could do both. You can go Lightning Fury and Plague Javelin, because Lightning Fury doesn't really need the synergies as much. But we'll see. For now I think we're locked into Plague Javelin, so I should probably also spend some of the points. Right? I mean, I could go for a stronger Valkyrie, I could go for some dodge chance, Pierce maybe, but I think I'm gonna keep pumping that. And since we're going up against Mephisto, another 1000 or so damage seems good. Yeah, I meant hypothetically the respec. I'm not allowed to respec because I'm not allowed to speak to Akara. But I've been very anti. I've been expressing pretty strongly that I think Plague Javelin is the correct pick. And I was listening to one of my old stream recordings, and I thought maybe I was a little bit not extreme, but I was a little bit one-sided. Anyway, I think that Lightning Fury would definitely be decent now. I personally still prefer Plague Javelin, but I could see it. And of course, I didn't even mention it, but Charged Strike is a great skill. But I wouldn't want to run around with a melee skill right now, personally. Here's an interesting thought. Do we search out the waypoint for repeating Mephisto in future streams? The longest poison duration you've ever seen. I even have reduced 25% on the gloves, but some enemies just have the meanest poison, long lasting. At least it's not like high damage per second. And I mean, I can continue right now, but I could see a future where if I get poisoned this badly, we need to like stand still and wait for a minute for it to go away, and it finally did. There's so much to pay attention to, so I'm not gonna say I'm gonna, but it would have been nice if I did have a few antidotes going into this place. But my brain is already filled with post-it notes saying pick up identification scrolls. Soul Rune! Nice. I would actually have preferred a shale right now, or actually would I even?
I need mana.
This can be lore, but we already have a decent helm, but lore would absolutely be better. This could be Insight, Rel, Tear, Tal, Sol, but we don't have the Tear and we don't have the Forsaken Bow. This could be a blood-crafted ring. That's probably a bit lower on my rankings for usefulness, but a Soul Rune, very nice. Call me Emilio the way I will put that to good use.
I need mana.
Sol plus Ral plus Perfect Emerald to upgrade your Ghost Armor to the Elite version for some added durability. I like how you think, but I don't think it's worth it. Because you can use a rail rune to repair it anyway. But that is a funny use of the cube mechanics for a specific use case in the run we're playing. I like it. Hello from YouTube. Your videos got me to buy D2R. Been enjoying it a ton so far, but after dozens of hours of your vids, I still pretty clueless. I'm glad you enjoy the game. I do gloss over a lot of things in my videos. And sometimes it feels a little bit tricky because I have audience, like people who watch my videos, who has played Diablo 2 as much as I have, or some even more, right? Then I have people who have played Diablo 2 very casually. Like, I get comments saying like, I like the video, I used to play Diablo 2 20 years ago. So, very different audiences, right? So sometimes it's hard for me to know how do you say, how in-depth to go about stuff. Wait for your biggest enemy, doors in Act 5. Yeah, this is not the Duriel killer, it's the door killer. That's also true. Lightning would consume not only more jabs, but also more mana. Yeah, absolutely. When is the energy-only character coming out? I hoped to finish that before Christmas, before the holiday in the year end. But I had some hiccups and some delays with another video I'm working on currently. And that one is coming out this year, but unfortunately the energy only run is in progress, but it will not be coming out this year. I regret to inform you. But it is coming out, and it is kind of it's been so nice because as I've been working on the, you know, all my stats into one stat, if I don't know what video to make, I could, you know, just pick the next stat. But now that I'm almost done with all of them, I don't really know what to do next. Hello. 26 to all resistances. 26 is a higher number than 25, believe it or not, but magic find is magic find. Maybe we would never have found the spirit shroud if I didn't have the magic find. It is literally my last bit of magic find too. This is a tough decision. If you start energy only in 2026, you might finish it by 2027. I get it, I get it. I upload too infrequently, I get it. They say all heroes get extra 250 MF until New Year, I think. Oh, it's the
Good day to you, partner.
12 days of Diablo 2 or whatever it's called. Is that on right now? Wait, does it work in single player? Am I under the influence of the holiday special thing right now? It doesn't seem like that, because, I mean, sure, I had found a couple of uniques this stream, but very few magic and rare items. It doesn't feel like I've been playing with 250 magic find. No, no way. That can't be. Ah, 22 Days of Terror, that's the one, but it's online only. Alright, thank you. Or 22 nights. 22 Days of Nights. What? I'm just kidding, of course. if I understood what you meant. Thank you, Sensei Dr. Dad, for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. That's such a dad joke, isn't it? 22 days of terror, and then you correct to nights. 22 days of nights?
I am overburdened.
Sorry.
I can't carry anymore. I need mana.
I am almost out of mana. And that makes me uncomfortable. Well, I do have the entire column.
Anymore.
The dads appreciate it. Nice. Alright, let's go and stab Mephisto with Kelpy Snare. Nice, and then... well, actually, my lightning resistance is good, my cold is alright. And those are the biggest worries against Mephisto, I think. I mean, I'm not speedrunning, it's like speedrunning the meth kill, but it looks alright. Oh, I don't like waking those up on accident. Ooh. I'm being very conservative with my actions because I don't know. I'm so afraid of running out of mana. So for example, now I'm considering, is it really worth summoning the Valkyrie? I mean, she's helpful because then I don't need to dodge, but with Mephisto being this slow, dodging isn't that big of a deal, right? But you know, running out of mana from spamming a 26 mana Valkyrie, that could be a big deal. Well, he's halfway dead. I think it's gonna be fine either way, actually. Yeah. Could be nice to have a Valkyrie annoy him while I poke him with Impale again. And don't worry, I'm not running out of javelins, I have another stack here. Actually, I could use that for a while to get 2 more skill points, but I don't think I need to, and I would rather use up the 5 I have here first.
I need mana.
Oh, I missed. Well, I might as well drink the potions I have on me. Kelpy Snare to the rescue once again. Oh wow, look at that, with +2... Well, I guess you can't see the damage numbers, because I don't have another set of javelins, but 7k Plague Javelin. From +2 skills, very solid. Cracked Maiden Javelins with +2 skills, my best item is a cracked white item. Well, not my best item, but my biggest skill booster. Damage booster, I guess. And skill booster. Yay, we did it!
Success. But still, there's something.
Eisenhearts. I think we have found another Eisenheart previously. Alright, not too bad actually. Not too bad. Though now comes a little bit of an odd problem, because now I'm going into the next act, but I can't heal, and I can't buy potions, and I'm not completely dry, so I think it's gonna be fine. Yeah, I'm pretty good on life and mana right now, and I have 1 mana pot and some other potions. But this could also be a someone asked before about like my future worries. This could also be a problem. Like you have a really tough boss fight, and then you go into the next act and can't heal up before you start a new, more difficult act. Oh, dang, nice. Where did you find the Kelpy? I don't remember. It might have been from Nightmare on Duriel, I think, because I seem to recall finding it late in last stream. I had it when I started this stream though, but we did invest the points to actually use it this time. So this is the first stream we've used it on, and we used it to great effect against both Mephisto and Duriel. Look at that, creating some nice separation to the background. If this was a Spirason video, this could be the thumbnail. I wish I could zoom in even more to look at the weapon. I remember as if it was in the pit. Oh, that could actually be it, because we did go to the pit in Act 1. You try to avoid killing those faithful from lower Kurast. They break after you kill the Dark Council. Not really. Like, I didn't run after them either. I like skipped them if they were a nuisance, but I just took enemies on as I went. It's very, like, Plague Javelin has been carrying me hard. So it's been mostly been Plague Javelin spam and running around trying to survive, which has been working out pretty well. You're 1 hour behind me, that means you're from Europe, right? Correct, I am on Central Europe time, in Sweden. Alright, that's gonna be it for this stream. I could go for like 15 more minutes, but we're not gonna accomplish anything in 15 minutes. Right? I'm not gonna wait. That's one issue with Act 4 in particular. I need to make it through 1, 2, 3, or like 2.5 areas, depending on how lucky you get in the City of the Damned. But you have to make it through several areas before you get to the first waypoint. Right? Yeah, and we did actually, we did make it to the next act, so that was nice. Good progress, Zarfen. Will we beat Nightmare though? I am feeling confident about Nightmare. I'm not feeling as confident about actually finishing the challenge, like beating Hell anymore. But I'm sure we'll figure it out. If Random Guy could do it, I think that Hobo can do it. But it might require a shift in mindset, or like how do we approach stuff in Hell, like inventory management. Because right now, all of this, well, except the charms and sometimes 1 stack here, everything else is about holding on to stuff to which might be potentially good in the future, like, right? All the runes, all the gems. We might have to shift back to like stacking potions and stacking 3 or maybe 4 stacks of javelins instead. If someone would be able to beat it, it would be you. Just have to tune in for the next session. Thank you. I guess, yeah, if someone's willing to sit through the grindiest of grinds, it's us. TP go home. Alright. Well, thanks for hanging out today, everybody. Fun stream. Feels good to be back streaming. Hopefully I will not be sick again this year. Which sounds big, but of course there's only a couple of weeks left in the year. And I'll try to continue on Friday. I'll try to schedule that a little bit earlier. Yeah, I think that's it. It felt like I wanted to say something else, but you know, have a good week ahead. I'll see you another time. And until then, Hobo is gonna chill on the stairs outside the city walls. Take care, everyone. Take care.